Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Boardmasters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight I wanted to have a look at Castle Panic, the Deluxe Collection, which is something I haven't really done before. I've looked at Kickstarters obviously with my sort of crowdfunding backlog videos, and I did a piece recently talking about why I wasn't backing Monster Hunter, and this one is really... I expected Castle Panic to be in my crowdfunding backlog part 5 because that's what I was planning to record this week, and I put it off when I discovered that Castle Panic Deluxe was launching on the 13th of March. And then the campaign hit, I saw the price, and I was stunned, to be honest, and for that reason it won't be in my Kickstarter backlog part 5. And you know, first things first, I love the game. I've already featured it on the channel. We've done playthroughs with Alex and Stace. I've done a review. I think it's a fantastic game. This isn't a criticism as such of Fireside Games and the quality of the product at all. I think it is an excellent game, and I would recommend everyone give it a go. And it does look gorgeous. I love the look of these minis and everything. So I was so ready to pull the trigger on this, but yeah, well, let's look at what's new. So we've got basically it's a deluxe edition of Castle Panic and the expansions. So you've got the lovely plastic towers and walls and all of these monster minis with the rotating point scoring base, which is really cool. You've got brand new artwork for everything, new components. So instead of the cardboard tokens, you've got wooden tokens that now come in a blind bag, and there is an extra expansion, which is all good, all positive so far. And then I get down to here, and the Castle Panic Deluxe Collection is $350. Now, by way of comparison, the Castle Panic Big Box at retail, obviously it's not in stock at the minute, but I've done restock orders with Zatu plenty of times, and they usually take about 2 to 3 months. But that's an RRP of $89.99 down to $74.56, and that includes Castle Panic and the 3 expansions. This one is Castle Panic, the 3 expansions, plus an extra one, plus the playmat. And that has taken the price from £75 up to $350, plus $44 shipping. So approximately £280, including shipping. So it's gone up by 200 quid off the back of 1 expansion and 1 playmat and the minis. And if we go down to the add-ons, it's below the how to play. Okay, so the playmat is $25 and the deluxe version of the expansion is $75. So the new stuff is an extra $100. So that explains $100 of the £200. I know this is awkward that I'm working with 2 different currencies, but being in the UK, they don't really provide the exact conversions on here. So I'm guessing the £75 would be approximately $100, because that's give or take is usually about a third that you add on. So $100 up to $350, and $100 of that is the new expansion and the playmat. So that still leaves $150 left over, which is obviously the deluxe components. And you know, there are lots of lovely minis and things that we've already looked at. But in terms of the actual quantity of them, I've had a look through. So obviously they highlight on the deluxe above that there's 181 minis in the game, which is a good number. Not spectacular for the price point if you compare it to a Come On game or maybe an Awaken Realms. 181 isn't world beating, or 180 plastic pieces, and okay, fair enough, it's not necessarily about the quantity, because a large part of the expense of doing miniatures, as far as I'm aware, is the initial mould of the sculpt, and then once you have the mould, actually reproducing loads of pieces is fairly cheap. So I thought I'd have a look through and count the different moulds they have, so the different designs of the plastic bits. So I included all the towers and the walls and the monster minis, and I included the promo flags and went through all the expansions and everything, and came to 71 different types of minis, which is quite disappointing then when, as I mentioned, you compare it to something like a Come On, Zombicide, Undead or Alive. And this isn't a sort of back this, not that type of thing, because I'm not backing either of these games. But I just thought I'd go with a comparison with Come On, because they're famous with their Kickstarters for the volume of plastic and things that they put in. And so I went through, again, counting all the different types of sculpts, as well as the total of the minis. Went through all the stretch goals, went through all the add-ons. And again, these are great looking minis. Come On are always great with their minis. I recently unboxed Zombicide Black Plague, which, although it came out in 2015, is still a great looking game. And compared the full Steam pledge here to the all-in on Castle Panic. Now, as I mentioned, in Castle Panic there was 180 minis. In the full Steam pledge of Zombicide, you've got 232. So you've got an extra 50 minis. But in terms of the different types of minis, in Castle Panic you have just over 70. In Zombicide you have over 150. So I can't see that it's the cost of the minis that's driving the price up so much, because you can see here the pledge for all those minis in Zombicide is $240 plus shipping. They don't give us shipping for the all-in on this, whereas Castle Panic did, but based on the shipping when they quoted for Massive Darkness, I imagine it's going to be about $50-$60. Maybe less, you never know. Plus then VAT, which Castle Panic included, but Come On don't. So again, I would expect another probably $100 on top of that price to give you the final cost, so say $350 compared to $394 for Castle Panic. So you're still paying an extra $50 in Castle Panic. And I'm really, really struggling to see where the value is, to be honest, because I can't see that the minis, as nice as they are, yes, they've got the rotating bases, which may add an extra cost, but it's gone from a £75 to a £280 off the back of less than 200 minis and an extra expansion, but their expansions, as you can see, are typically RRPs of around £25 to £30. So I don't really credit that too much. It just seems like an absolutely ludicrous price, and I don't like saying anything negative. I haven't had too much reason to say negative stuff recently, certainly since I joined the hobby, because I've absolutely loved it. Now obviously they've hit their funding goal, they smashed it. Then they've been up just over 24 hours and they're doing really well, but it's never going to hit Zombicide numbers, which is always, Come On are always smashing it. I don't know if it's going to show me on here. Yeah, over 3 million. I don't think it's ever realistic for Castle Panic to aim for that, but I think a very well rated popular game that has a dedicated following, if this was in the $200, I would have happily paid. I would have happily paid £150 to £200 for a full batch of minis. Go back to my review, one of the first things I said was I would love this game with minis. And so it seemed like a dream when then a month later I found out they were doing Castle Panic with minis. But again, it may just be my inexperience in the hobby and not knowing what it is, how to necessarily value games like this. But I've watched, as you know, Board Game Co. very closely since I got into the hobby, and I'll be very interested to see his opinion on this when he covers it in his Monday video, which I think this video is going up on Thursday the 20th, so I expect he will have covered that on Monday. But I'm recording this before Monday, so I haven't got that information. But yeah, I will certainly link to his video if he covers it this Monday. He may not be able to fit it in, who knows. But if you have any ideas as to why this is a good value pledge, what I'm missing, please explain it to me, because I will happily be convinced that this is actually really great value and I should be backing it. Because as I said, I love the game and I would love a version of it with minis. But it just seems crazy at $350. I can't see any justification for that at all. But that is my thoughts on the Castle Panic Deluxe Collection Kickstarter at the moment, and I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you very much for watching. Look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Thank you. Bye bye now.